All right, we are officially underway in today's trade. You are just looking at live images of a remote bell ceremony as the stock exchange celebrates the open of trade on the USS John Basilone to honor Veterans Day in America. Well, our next segment is very fitting because joining me now is a U.S. Navy SEAL veteran and head of military investing and communications for Siebert Financial. His name is Larsen, and he joins me now live. Thank you so much for joining at the Stock Exchange.
It's an honor to be here. Thank you for having me.
What an incredible day here at the NYSE, and of course on the USS John Basilone as well. As a veteran yourself, what does today mean to you?
I mean, it's really an extraordinary day to be here. As I watched Commander Livingstone there ring the bell to open the exchange, I'm reminded that part of the reason we're enjoying this period of abundance is because of those who have served, right? And even now, you've seen these principles of America first. It reminds me of the old Warren Buffett saying, never bet against America. That battleship that you saw this morning, or that destroyer that you saw this morning, the U.S. military and the service of so many Americans has really been the foundation and the underpinning of our economic system. And to be able to honor those who have served is really appropriate on a day like today.
As a veteran and now part of a large financial institution, what is advice that you would give our viewers, families who have veterans within their family, or even those who are on active duty right now, when it comes to managing their finances?
Yeah. Well, you have to remember, the military community is not homogenous, but we are quite large. There's over 16 million veterans in America. That's almost 6% of our population. And then you start to add family members on top of that. And what you see is that this military community is actually a robust economic force that's often forgotten by the street. And so my goal at Siebert Financial, being at a large financial institution now, is that we want to continue to serve those who have served. We want to say that your service matters, your country still needs you, but we want to honor that service by helping close this wealth gap that's developed between the military community and the civilian world.
Mm-hmm. Talk to me about management more here, especially during times of deployment. What families need to navigate in those moments?
Yeah, there are challenges and opportunities for serving members and for veterans. You know, one of the challenges is that, as you indicated, like, we deploy, we go off to war, and in the most extreme cases that can actually result in the death of a service member. But even in more benign cases, it means that often the burden of financial management falls to the household, right? It falls to the spouses of those who are deployed. So there's much more of an ecosystem and an architecture and a support network that's needed to manage military finances compared to their socioeconomic peers. That being said, there are certain institutional and incumbent advantages that military folks have. A lot of their health care is covered. There's a vast array of resources both inside the Department of Defense, like the Office of Financial Readiness, and outside with philanthropic organizations and even private sector organizations like my organization, Siebert Valor, which is dedicated to serving the military community. And our principle is that those who have actually walked in the boots, those like myself who have actually served, we understand the unique position of military families when it comes to managing your finances. We can help orient and build your portfolios in ways that are appropriate for you.
Mm-hmm. I do want to talk about those who are serving or who have served. How should they go about navigating the financial resources, benefits, and bonuses that are available to them because of their service?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, this is the challenge, right? The challenge is closing not just the wealth gap, but also the knowledge gap that exists, right? And so the very first thing and most important thing you can do is embark on this journey of self-education to become financially literate and to absolutely take full advantage of all of the services and benefits that your service has afforded you. For example, service members often get BAH, which is basic allowance for housing. They have full health care coverage. This gives them actually greater discretionary income than many of their sort of socioeconomic peers. What we want to do is we want to take that advantage. We want to take that extra compensation and make sure that military members understand the best way to build their wealth is to invest that money historically over time. So it's knowing what the benefits are that are afforded to you and then taking full advantage of those benefits.
The S&P 500 coming off its best week in a year. I know you mentioned the importance of investing. Is this a market that you think viewers should be investing in?
We do. We think historically over time the greatest way to build wealth is to invest. And our goal at Siebert and at Siebert.Valor, which is our initiative that's aimed not just towards military, but to anyone who's who's worn the cloth of the country. So law enforcement, firefighters, service-oriented people. We think that bringing you into the financial system through investing with appropriate portfolios that are managed for risk and the unique circumstances of those who are served is the best way to build wealth within this really important demographic who's done so much for the country.
Kaj Larsen, U.S. Navy SEAL veteran and head of military investing and communications at Siebert Financial. Kaj, thank you so much for joining.
Thank you.
Truly an honor.